It is a big deal. It's a big deal for your agency, and it's a big deal for your team. So in my line of work, sometimes I come to agencies thinking I need a bulletproof vest, and I'm dead freaking serious. I think one of the selling features we have at APP is that we will tell your team they're making renewal reviews because many agencies are just scared of the pushback and the overwhelm feeling that they're going to get. But we have become experts in delivering the message. And what we find is that you're going to get the following pushback. So I think if you explain where you're going, that you're going to have more time, less remarkets, happier customers, everybody's bought in. But when you explain that the way to get there is calling every client once a year, people fall off their chairs. So the first tip I want to give you guys is math. Math. When I see that look of dread on people's face, first thing I say is, okay, how many calls a day do you think you're going to have to make? And they're like, 30, easily 30. I'm like, it's like 4 to 5 max. Every agency is a little different depending on your setup, but let's call that average. And they're like, oh, and you're going to talk to half those people. So it's really 2 phone calls. And let's be honest, one of those people is going to call you. So it's like 1 extra phone call. They kind of calm down a little bit. They don't believe me 100%, but I've kind of refuted their biggest fear. And the next thing is new things are hard. Account managers love to do the Groundhog Day. Every day is the same. Every day is the same. And I get that and I respect that, but we're going to become blockbuster people if we don't be careful. So new things are hard. So most people resist new things. The next is, I don't sugarcoat this at all when I tell teams this. You are going to be a little salmon swimming upstream for about 60 days. The first 60 days are the hardest. You're learning something new. You're getting your sea legs about you. But the biggest thing is renewals are coming in and you're trying to get out ahead. So there's like a gap. So we just say, let's just own it. It's going to be hard. Let's label it. Let's just say we're in the hardest time. But if we commit, we get to the other side and make it better. Really, your team has preconceived notions that they don't have time. They barely can keep up as it is. But the reality is, based on your processes, you might find that some of your processes are too loose. Maybe we're doing the automatic remarket, or because we're reactive remarketing more, I want to change that time you're remarketing, time you're talking to clients to avoid a remarket. So a lot of times it's not more time, it's a flip of time. Some people think we're opening a can of worms. If we talk to our clients, we're opening a can of worms. Okay. And that's a problem. Or they have seen you try things like this before and back off. So they're like, I bet you if we just wait this out, they'll forget about this in a bit and I can go back to my business. Not all good stuff, right? That's a learned pattern that you've taught your team. So the bottom line is if you're going to do renewal review calls, you need a strong leadership process. There should be incentives and check-ins and tracking and high fives. It is a big deal. It's a big deal for your agency and it's a big deal for your team. So make it a big deal. Make it a big initiative for 6 months to see it through. And you will start to see them adopt and come around as they get through the process. So if you're struggling with it, you have to have faith and belief. The first thing I'm going to tell every leader is if you do not have faith and belief in the system, your team will sense that. Okay. And I think that that's a key and critical opportunity. I think that also, too, you have to believe for them for a little while. Most account managers are like, well, I'll see how this goes. And then once I have enough data, I'll make a decision. Okay, cool. I'd like everybody to try to think through this as much as humanly possible. The juice is worth the squeeze. Hard things we can do. We can do hard things, push-ups, burpees, all of the above. And the hardest things lead to the best results. So just because it's hard doesn't mean we shouldn't do it. It means we should have a good plan to do it.